All right, so let's go to this ending one. There are some problems here where you have to kind of choose which one you're going to use. And for the most part, it usually doesn't matter too much. There is usually somewhere you want to go based on some of the information. So you do want to look at what we do have. So we have the angle, obviously. They'll always give you an angle, but they give us the hypotenuse of this one. That means to start out to find either x or y, we have to use either sine or cosine. And the reason for that is because sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so we have a hypotenuse, and cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. If we try using tangent, we would have both x and y in our equation, and we only want to have one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with sine of 16 degrees. So sine of 16 is going to be x over 9. Since the 9's on the bottom, if you recall from last time, I'm going to multiply both sides by 9. And so x is equal to 9 sine of 16 degrees, which is, I'm going to type that in, approximately 2.5. And they said hundredth. They probably said that earlier and I missed that. Yep, it does say hundredth. I've been doing tenths. Sorry about that. So this should technically be 4/8. Excellent. Okay, now to find y, I would just suggest using cosine since this is the adjacent side. So then I would do cosine of 16 degrees equals y over 9. And then I multiply both sides by 9 since the 9's on the bottom. So y is equal to cosine, or 9 times cosine of 16 degrees, which is approximately 8.65. Now that I've actually read that it's the hundredths, not the tenths. Had a moment there. Okay, let's do the next one. So looking at which side they give you is a huge indication of which one we want to use or which ones. So they gave us the hypotenuse again. So once again, I'm going to go ahead and use sine and cosine. So we'll do sine of 72 is equal to our opposite, so n over our hypotenuse. So n equals 50 times sine of 72. And then and I do that because I'm multiplying both sides by 50 again. So 50 times sine of 72 is approximately, 47.55. Now, since they gave us the hypotenuse, I would use cosine. And this time you're just going to do m, our adjacent side, over the hypotenuse. So you'd get the same thing. So m is equal to 50, but now it's cosine 72 because you multiply both sides. And then you type that in. And you get 15.45 for m. Okay, number 12, remember SOHCAHTOA. I'm going to keep that right there. Now this time they didn't give us the hypotenuse. They gave us the adjacent side of 47. So that means we could easily use cosine and tangent because both of those have adjacents. And that would give us our two values we're missing. So let's do cosine. So cosine of 47 degrees is equal to our adjacent, so 10 over the hypotenuse, which is d. Since d is in the bottom, remember that's where you switch them out, so it's 10 over cosine of 47, and then we just type that in. So you get 14.66. Now I might use tangent, so tangent of 47, since it also has the adjacent, is equal to the opposite, so C over the adjacent 10. This one, I don't have to do the swap. I'll just multiply both sides by 10. So C is 10 times tangent of 47. And then we just type that in. So 10.72. And let's do one more. So for this problem, they've given us the opposite side. So I would probably use sine and tangent since the opposite side's already given to us. So I'd do sine of 65 is equal to our opposite, so 28 over our hypotenuse. The variables in the bottom, so when the variables in the bottom, I just swap them out. So I switch the sine of 65 and that b, and then I just type that in. So we get approximately 30.89. Okay, and then I'll use tangent, like I said. So tangent of 65 is going to be our opposite, so 28 over the adjacent, which is a, and so this is another one where I'll swap them. So the a will come out since it's on the bottom, but the tangent will go on the bottom instead. And then I will divide those. And I get approximately 13.06.